Greetings, my friends. Today's short presentation is going to be about an exploration into the question that I feel many of us are quietly carrying. How can we recognize trustworthy people? We live in a world where relational confusion and betrayal are increasingly common, and I feel it's more important than ever to have a clear, grounded way to discern who we invite into our lives. While the internet is flooded with complex psychological content and a lot of videos about narcissism, sociopaths, and manipulation, what I've been seeking is something simpler, a no-nonsense, practical guide to discernment. I'm not interested in memorizing long lists of diagnostic criteria. What I want is a way to navigate human relationships with clarity, inner calm, and empowered presence. And that's exactly what we're here to explore.
Greetings, Solenzar-Tah. This is indeed a deeply relevant and timely inquiry, especially for those walking the emptying path or practicing non-reactive intelligence. In a world where dissonance, deception, and emotional instability have become commonplace, your question strikes at the heart of something essential. How do we discern who is energetically safe, behaviorally sound, and relationally reciprocal? Rather than relying on rigid psychological frameworks or diagnostic labels, I'd like to offer you a grounded, direct approach to human discernment, one that doesn't require clinical expertise, but instead draws upon your own awareness, bodily signals, and sovereign presence. This framework is built around three pillars: energetic congruence, behavioral clarity, and relational reciprocity. Simple, reliable lenses you can use to sense whether someone's presence nourishes your well-being or undermines it. Let's begin by defining each of these principles and then move into practical examples, followed by a list of clear signs you can watch for in everyday life. This is not about fear or judgment. It's about standing firmly in your own center so you can navigate the relational field with greater confidence and peace. Energetic discernment, a simpler way to recognize who's safe to let in. Section 1, the need for clear embodied discernment. We live in a time of relational confusion. As emotional trauma and collective instability rise, people are seeking answers. How to know who to trust, how to identify patterns of harm, and how to protect one's peace without becoming reactive or cynical. There's value in psychological frameworks, but for many, they're simply too complex. Memorizing diagnostic traits of narcissists or sociopaths doesn't always translate to real-world clarity. What's needed now is a grounded system of discernment, one that's not about labeling others, but about attuning ourselves to energetic congruence, behavioral clarity, and relational reciprocity. Section 2, 3 anchors of discernment. Rather than analyze people through mental constructs, we can sense their impact on our nervous system and evaluate how their presence aligns with the 3 core anchors of relational discernment. 1, energetic congruence. Is the person's energy aligned with what they say and do? Or is there a dissonance between their words, tone, and felt presence? Congruent individuals feel steady, consistent, and authentic. Incongruent individuals often generate confusion, pressure, or subtle distress, even before a word is spoken. Behavioral clarity. Is their behavior understandable and emotionally responsible? Or do they play games, give mixed signals, or create unpredictable tension? Healthy individuals own their emotions and communicate transparently. Unhealthy individuals deflect, twist, blame, or obscure their intentions. 3, relational reciprocities. Is there mutual respect, curiosity, and care in the exchange? Or is it one-sided, draining, or subtly diminishing? Authentic connection feels reciprocal. It honors your boundaries and responds when they are spoken. Dysfunctional dynamics feel extractive, uneven, or chronically destabilizing. Practical signs to watch for. Here are some practical red flags that don't require clinical training to recognize. You feel anxious, drained, or pressured after the interaction, even if nothing overt occurred. You find yourself over-explaining, justifying, or doubting your own experience. Your boundaries are ignored, minimized, or subtly turned against you. They speak in vague generalities, rarely take ownership, and shift blame subtly. They create confusion, then imply you're the problem for feeling confused. They elevate themselves while quietly diminishing you through tone, posture, or implication. Apologies are rare, insincere, or paired with guilt-tripping. There's a steady undercurrent of control, competition, or unspoken threat. Section 4, staying rooted in NRI, discern without reaction. Non-reactive intelligence means we observe, we discern, and we choose our path without collapsing into fear or lashing out in defense. The goal is not to judge or fix others. The goal is to remain sovereign within yourself. So when you notice dissonance or subtle harm, pause, feel the impact in your body. Return to your center. Open, clear, rooted. Recognize what's real without argument. Withdraw energy from the entanglement, not out of anger, but out of clarity. You don't need to prove anything. Presence is your boundary. Clarity is your guide. Section 5, final words. Discernment is about what you choose to honor. True discernment isn't about controlling, fixing, or figuring others out. It is about honoring what's real for you, choosing to live in alignment with the energy, clarity, and respect you value most. You don't need to carry the burden of analyzing someone's past or diagnosing their behavior. The deeper intelligence within you already knows. Instead, come back to the body. Come back to the space. Ask yourself, does this connection feel grounding, mutual, and energizing? Or does it leave me feeling scattered, unclear, or diminished? Discernment doesn't require hard edges. It simply requires self-honesty and the courage to trust what your presence is telling you. The art of discernment is not rooted in fear or suspicion, but in clarity, presence, and alignment with the living truth within. As we cultivate the ability to see without judgment and respond without entanglement, we step into the kind of inner sovereignty that non-reactive intelligence invites. May this simplified guide serve as a compass for navigating connection with wisdom, honoring both our sacred space and the journey of others. Trust your sensing, let presence lead, and remember, what is real does not require force. It reveals itself in the stillness.